the shoes, that the wrestling shoes. And
Yeah.
that's the only thing that she got me during that time. And I think I kind of scrounge around to get my own money for my little singlet that we have. But unfortunately, because in the city schools, it's like you can't keep the items because everything is shared.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
once you
yeah.
get it, you gotta pass it on to the next, I guess, the next generation that's gonna be there, and just kind of hope for the best.
Right.
Um, so it's actually cool that you took that time to incubate your mindset and just knew that you chased after what you wanted to do. I'm over here bragging about you, like, like because you came through so much, and it's just irritating to see, people who are following the paths that their parents have done so much to try to make sure that they have the best, and then the kids just kind of follow right behind it instead of taking what they have and grow. So what got you into that mindset to say, you know what, I'm not want to stay here in Jamaica, I want to go to the States? Where did that come from?
Well, I I cannot pinpoint a time when I said to myself, I'm gonna get up and go to the States. I've always been intrigued with being able to do better and do my best. And if I will tell you the story of how I actually got into the States here, and it's a very funny story. But I was going into college in Jamaica. I was going to a physical education. I was going to GC Foster College, which is a school that trains physical education teachers and science teachers to go around the country and be PE teachers. It's the school that attracts the best athletes in the country on multiple disciplines of sport. And you will go there specifying in your own discipline, but you'll become a PE teacher, which you'll be branch off in different schools in the country. And at the time, I had no idea that this was an actual vehicle where colleges across the world, especially in America, will go there and scout potential student athletes. I had no idea. I had no clue what I was going to do at that point. I just knew that after high school, I was going to prove half my community wrong because I was going to play soccer every Sunday in my community. I was still running. I was still doing my soccer in high school. And all I would get was the negative Nancy saying, "Hey, why are you doing this?" Because growing up in Jamaica, you had two options in my community. You had to go bad and go to jail, or you do sport and
Mm.
try to make something out of yourself. And they have this saying that everyone comes out of the womb running in Jamaica, and it's absolutely true because track and field is very popular, and we do all the biggest event in the country every year is the Boys and Girls Championship in high school. And so to make a long story short, in my almost third year in college, I came to the States on a work and travel program, a
Okay.
program that allows me to come here, work for the summer, representing my college, and then go back and finish up my year. I was working in Towson, Royal Farms in Towson. I'll never forget. One day I came home and I got a call from my coach in Jamaica. He was like, "You got three offers." I'm like, "Offers for what?" Because I didn't know what he was talking about. It's like, "I just got off the phone and I got three offers for you. You have a scholarship in North Carolina A&T, one in Texas A&M, and another one at Coppin State University." I'm like, "Okay, what are they offering?" Well, Texas A&M and North Carolina A&T offered me a half scholarship for soccer. I was like, "Okay, you get a half scholarship and you pay the other half." And it's like Coppin State is offering you a full scholarship. And that one is for track and field. And of course, you can go and be a part of their intramural soccer program. And I'm like, "Okay, so where is Coppin State?" It was like, "It's in Baltimore." I'm sorry, what? I'm actually in Baltimore. So it's nothing short of a miracle, to be honest with you. That I just got on a bus, got up to the school, met the coach. There was a bunch of Jamaicans on the team already, which made me a whole lot more comfortable being a part of that environment. Those guys took me around and showed me. Before you know it, by that August, I was back in Jamaica at the embassy working on my student visa. And by the end of August, I was back here. So it wasn't something that I was planning on doing. It was just that it came about by me focusing on being me. It came
Gotcha.
about by me doing what I wanted to do, was just run track and play soccer. At that point, I had stopped doing the 100 meters and the 200 meters because of Usain Bolt.
he
Dead
caused.
ass. Yeah, we went to the Carifta trials, and He was in the 200 meters and he just right by all of us. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to do this. So I changed my event to the long jump, and that's what got me the scholarship.
Nice. Because I did see that you held the long jump track record in Coppin since 2010 to 2012.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Congrats.
I still have it to this day. They haven't broken it. It's an
Uh,
outdoor record.
oh, they didn't bring it?
No, they haven't broken it yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
I might have to look that up.
And I got Sportsman of the Year in 2012 too. They give it to some. You have to have top performances, and your GPA has got to be up there for you to be considered. So I got Sportsman of the Year. The Eagle Award is what they call it in 2012. Yep.
Man, that is awesome. Yeah. So when it comes to your work ethic, I know that you played the sports. Did you actually go to work while you were at Coppin?
Coppin, no. So just a little bit of an insight as a student athlete or an international student, you're not able to work outside of school. So what I was working, yes, but I worked for a program at Coppin State called the Freshman and Male Initiative Program, where they would choose seniors or juniors to be mentors for freshmen. This program was designed to help with retention in young men in the college. Coppin had a reputation of people coming into the school and just leaving, failing out after a year, a couple of months, just not coming back. And so the program was designed for, seniors, juniors to be mentors to freshmen and just guiding them into the difficulties that they'll have throughout the first year or so in their college careers. And that was my work throughout.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, because during then, I mean, were you thinking of trying to be an entrepreneur, or were you just thinking of like just working the best way you can while you're here in the States?
So I didn't have an entrepreneur train of thought when I was in college. I didn't have much thought about what I wanted to do when I first got into college. It was all about going pro. I wanted to be a pro soccer player. So that was my biggest push. I got very close to it, got an opportunity to do a trial at DC United at one point, and that was a point when I graduated from Coppin, and I had an offer to do my master's. So I was caught with a decision to make. Do your master's or go ahead and try out for DC United. The risk behind me trying out for DC United and passing up on this offer was that I was still an international student, and the restrictions that comes with being an alien in the United States would still follow me had I go on and try it out for DC United and not make it or get an injury, then I'll be stuck. So I decided to take the other route and do my master's. So that started to push me towards being in business. And then I decided to come up with a plan to be in law enforcement. I've always wanted to be in law enforcement. And so my decision was do your master's, go ahead and after your master's, join the National Guard, get training there, and go join the FBI. That was my aim. Mm-hmm. That was the game.
So what, I mean, I know you mentioned soccer several times, and I'm sure DC United isn't like your favorite team. So what's your favorite soccer team? Or as the rest of the world would say, football team?
There you go. There you go. Thank you for that. I've been struggling over here saying soccer this entire time, but yeah, my favorite football team is Manchester United. They're based in England. I have a YouTube channel that's focused, just started it recently, that's going to be focused on Manchester United and the English Premier League. Because I've moved into a more stable career now, I've had a lot more time to focus on stuff that I like outside of the job, right? So this YouTube channel is focused on football and the English Premier League, and of course, Manchester United, which if I can have a bad week, and the reason why I'm having a bad week is because they lost over the weekend. Good news is they won today like 6-2, so I'm happy.
Just want to throw that out there. Yeah, yeah, man, because I don't watch sports unless I'm actually betting. That's the only time I watch,
Yeah.
and it's very rare that I bet. So, you know, when it comes to the football or any type of sport, I'm actually completely lost. Uh, Especially with the world football, I have no clue of how it happens. I just know you got to get the ball into the goal, and that's it.
Right. Yeah. Dude, I get livid when my team loses. I watch, I don't bet.
Hmm.
Um, and the reason why I don't bet is because one of the things I grew up watching my father gamble. And
Mm,
I made a decision from a young age that I was not going to take up any of those traits that he has that I see as unbecoming. You know what I mean? Like he smoked a lot. I don't smoke. I know it's rare for you to hear a Jamaican doesn't smoke, but I don't. Um, I don't gamble.
okay.
I I never have, never will. It's because I grew up without. I don't feel like I should be putting my money at risk like that. When I have it, I need to put it to good use. Um, and I understand the value of some people saying, "Hey, this is a risk, but the reward might be, you know." But for me, is that I'm not going to take that risk. I know how hard it is to come about. I know what it is to be without, and so I'm going to use my money at good use. I'd rather give it away to someone than gamble it. To be honest with you,
I mean,
that's where
that's
I'm at.
pretty much what most people are doing when they're gambling anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's so much money. Because as I come across a lot of people that are internationals, their views of finances are completely different um, than most people that are already here in the States. And you always hear of most people would actually, they don't trust the bank to the point where they actually just save everything.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden, most people have, uh, from an international standpoint, I'm just thinking of like you have multiple families with inside the home as they come into the States or get introduced to the States and so forth. Um, so it's actually pretty good that you, again, I mean, these are traits that you've taken and saw in your parents that you did not want to prolong for yourself. So are there any lessons that you want to try to convey to your children or to your child right now?
Yeah, not children yet.
Got it.
Oh man, there's so many things.
You're listening to the About That Wallet podcast. We'll be right back after these messages. If you are enjoying this episode or finding anything useful, please consider leaving a review on iTunes, Spotify, or anywhere on the internet. It is one of the best ways you can help new listeners find me, such as yourself. You can always support this podcast by going to patreon.com/about that wallet or anchor.fm/about that wallet.
Number one, I want to make sure that he's able to play football without a shadow of a doubt. I keep throwing things at his head. You saw the video where I kicked the ball at him, right?
Yes, I did.
So that's the main thing for me. Now, but all kidding aside, he has to have know the value of her, know the value of everything that he has. Meaning, you have to work for everything that you have. And then once you've done that, you know the value of you gaining that, then you'll be able to treat it better. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna make sure that my work ethic, and that ability to see things, work for it, get it, and don't just stop and look back and say, yes, I've done that, but start pushing on to the next one is what I want to make sure that he has. Because sitting on your laurels will get you this far, but it won't get you to where you need to be. That for me is the biggest thing. Um, we've all we've all met difficulties in our careers, personally, professionally, mentally, but it's how you attach that. So if any lesson that I would like to pass on to him is it's not how you fall, but it's how quickly you get back up. And that is a mantra that I live by day in, day out. And that's what I want to make sure he understands. And it works in so many different aspects of your life, in so many different areas that you can use that mantra to carry on and push on when you set goals